So I have an idea. And I've had this idea in my head ever since I made the ResinCritter tortilla bowl. Can I do it with resin? Well, I was struggling with trying to figure out what I could do to make it look cool and still give it, you know, some function, but also, you know, make it aesthetically pleasing. And since, you know, the spring is coming up, summer's coming up, all that stuff. I live in Colorado. I'm surrounded literally by mountains. So obviously we don't have beaches, so to speak, because we're landlocked. So I figured I would make a beachy bowl, right? So this is my idea, and this is what I'm going to try. I'm stirring up about 2 ounces of my Fuji Tim 1-to-1. Now, because this is going in sand, I'm not going to bother putting it through the airless, for obvious reasons. But I've got, you know, just a thin layer, maybe 1/4 of an inch of sand down at the bottom of one of my tortilla bowl molds. And I am going to pour some resin over it to give me a base. Now, this is going to do 2 things. One, give me a base for the bowl. And, you know, since I'm doing sort of a beachy thing, give me that sand layer that I'm looking for, much like, you know, you see in your charcuterie boards and coasters and, you know, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Second, what this is going to do is this is going to give me enough of a layer that when I stack the top one or the top bowl on there, it's going to give it enough of a rise up that there will be space enough between the 2 bowls to be able to pour the resin down in there and give me, you know, the shape that I'm looking for. Now, that being said, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, hey, that looks like a shell. You know, so it's doing 2 things. It's giving me that sort of beachy look that I'm going for, and also giving it a lovely shell shape. So now that I've got my resin mixed up, I'm just going to go in here and pour it over my sand, and we're going to let that penetrate, if you will, down into the sand and cure up, so we have the good base layer to start with. And this is just regular craft sand. This is the craft sand decorative filler that I got from Michael's craft store. You can get it anywhere. You can get it in any craft store. Amazon, Temu, Ali, you know, Prince of Boo Boo, whatever, you know, craft website of choice. So, and this is just, you know, sand colored. It's not colored sand. It's not black or white or anything. It's just sand colored. So yeah, and get all of that out of my cup, and then what I can do is just go in and make sure that all my sand is incorporated into the resin. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a stir, because I don't want any loose sand on the bottom or anything like that when we demold it. So just making sure that all of it has some resin in it, which is good. And I don't mind if some of the sand floats out to the top of the resin. That's fine. You know, sand floats in water. So there's always little bits of sand floating around at the bottom of your body of water of choice. So, but this again will give it a chance to moisten our sand. so there's that. And then what I'm going to do is somewhere buried underneath my desk here is a container of shells. So I'm going to put some little shells in there. Bloop. And again, I'm not worried about bubbles. It's water. Water has bubbles. Embrace the bubbles, people. They're there. It's resin. It's going to happen. And then in this little duder is some starfish that, and I got these shells again from Michael's. Or no, I didn't. I'm lying. I think I got them from Amazon. I don't know. I'll look. I'll find the link and put it down below for you. And I have not opened the starfish yet, so pardon the noises of plastic. I'll just snip it open with my little scissors. My scissors! And these things are brittle, to say the least, so I have to be real careful. Some of them are inherently broken already, but, you know, that's okay. What I'll do is I'll just bury the broken part in the resin so you can't see it. Aha! Aha! See what I did there? That's right. Perfection is overrated, folks. Don't believe the hype. All right, and then I'll stick that little duder right there and let him stick out a little bit, I think, if he wants to stick out. If he wants to fall over, that's fine. He can fall over it. So I'm not fussed with it. Actually, think, therefore I am. I'm pink, therefore I'm spam. There we go. I'm gonna stick that little guy in there. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do with that. So let's let that cure. Should we add glitter? Should we? Should we add glitter or something sparkly? Yeah, let's do that. Let's add something sparkly. Hang on. I've got my sparkle bits buried, not buried, but underneath my amethyst. Ha! Here they are. My diamond dust crushed glass. So just like with cooking, the higher you sprinkle from, the more coverage you get. It doesn't all go into one area. There's a little hint for you. If you're cooking or anything, or making things with sprinkly things, if you sprinkle from a height, you will get a better coverage. And if you're wondering why I always do cooking references, it's because I was a chef for a while. Yes, I was a minister, I was a chef, I was an IT professional, I was a paranormal investigator, all sorts of fun stuff that I've done over the years. And it's all been super fun, and I still do some hobby things. So take my tiny torch. I'm not worried about burning my mold because it's oven proof. So yeah, so there's that. All right, so we'll let that cure up, and I will see you, and you over there for the next steps. See you soon. Hello, hello, hello. We are back. So we have our base sand, and it's all cured and everything. So what I'm going to do is gently, because I don't want to bust my starfish, put the top on it, and then what I'm going to do to keep it from floating once the resin gets in there is I am going to take some painter's tape and do my best to tape it down, again gently, to keep it from floating. And of course, you know, it's tape, it's sticky. What am I wearing? Gloves. Ah, smart move. But, you know, hey. What I am trying to do, though, is make sure that I get the sides spaced out pretty evenly so we get even thickness of sides here. Alright, so I'm going to do that. And I have, see, you can see there's a channel between the two that I will hopefully be able to pour in without too much of an epic mess. I have put my resin, I have 4 total ounces of my resin, and I have put 3 drops of Ranger Glacier in it, and I've let it sit and debubble. I didn't run it through the debubbler, excuse me, hiccups, but I have let it sit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and I put it, sorry, squirrel, I've put it into a squishy cup so I can hopefully pour this in without making an epic mess. So that gives a good idea about it. So 30 is 1 ounce, so 30 times 4 is 120. So I used about 100 ml. So the moral of the story here is use mold release if you're going to use resin in a tortilla bowl mold, because getting this out was literally hell. But it's super cute. Look at it. And, I mean, I did get a bubble right there from where I put in the blue, but I'm okay with that. You can see the sides are really pretty. There's a couple of little spots around the edges. You know, I do have to go around and trim it just, you know, from everything. But the ghost blue or the interference blue settled on the top, and it looks really nice. And our little shells look good. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. But yeah, use mold release. Let me find my tiny scissors. You know, and this is just extra resin that came around. You know, it's very easy just to trim off. I will do a better job of it, of trimming, before I, you know, take pictures or anything. But my hypothesis worked. My hypothesis worked. You can put resin in a tortilla bowl mold and make a cute little bowl. So at any rate, yeah, I'll take some pictures. I'll get everything trimmed up. I'll take some pictures. And so, yay, neat little project. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And